Buying a home is
weird.
a way to increase your net worth over time. Top rank advisor says CNBC. That's all I'm going to say. Go for it. You're excited about it. I'm going to let you go.
No, it's just so true. You know, buying a home will it help you increase your net worth? It's a fact. You know, there's things that you can do. There's things that you can control when you own a home. You can build. You know, like what are some of the ways that you could actually build equity in a home?
I mean, right off the bat, you can force square footage. You know, add additions, make repairs, rent out your rooms, house hack. I mean, there's so many different ways.
Right.
You could, you know, use your house for a business. You know, in-house living, assisted living. I mean, there's so many ways to skin the cat.
Ways.
Accelerate your loan paid offs.
Oh,
yeah.
Making more payments on your loan. That increases your equity too.
Exactly. So this is one of the statistics that I went in there just to find out, and it says Federal Reserve survey of consumer finance. According to a recent survey, homeowners in the U.S. had a median net worth of approximately $255,000, while renters had a median net worth of only about $6,300.
Mm-hmm.
That nearly represents 40 times greater wealth for homeowners.
Yep.
I believe that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that. If people make, you know, the sacrifice of turning their garage into a one-bedroom, like here in San Diego, which is a 20 by 20, you could fit a one-bedroom with one bath, a kitchen, and everything. You could easily rent that in some areas here anywhere from $1,500 to $2,800, depending on what area you're in. And these are very cozy places, you know? So it's forced equity. Another way that people can do it is they can actually pay down principal. Some people say like, well, I want a 15-year payment, but they don't realize that if they have a 30 and they just put $400 or $500 into it, they're going to reduce their loan amount drastically and save money on the interest, you know, and pay off that house faster than a 15-year.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't know if we talk about that enough.
We don't.
Well, maybe we do because it's extremely nerdy, but in our loan calculator, it actually will show you what your effective interest rate is if you happen to pay off your loan early. Because if you're making accelerated payments and you paid off early, your total amount of interest paid is actually a lot less than your initial 30-year amortized calculation. So when that happens, it changes your net effective rate paid.
Yeah.
So if let's say your note says 6, you could have paid your loan off earlier. It might even be 4.75 or 5 or whatever in the end if you do that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I make it super clear because I think you made a great point here. The net function of equity is paying down your loan balance. So that actually helps increase equity.
Yeah.
And home prices holding or even increasing over time. And Brian, your point, adding square footage or increasing the value or even modernizing your home, things like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to do that when you are in home ownership. One thing I know that was cautioned in this article was, you know, let's say you buy $1 million home. You don't have $1 million asset if you owe $900,000 on it. You have $100,000 of equity, and your personal asset is $100,000, not $1 million. It can say $1 million, and you got paid off. Sure, go walk that $1 million check to the bank. If not, just make sure you're being honest with yourself and your budget that you have $100,000 asset in your back pocket when you sell that place.
Yeah. So one of the biggest questions we always get, would you buy a home right now?
Yes.
If you could afford it, you buy it, right? Because it's all about this. And I like that the article states here, homeowners can start to see their equity and net worth increase within 5 to 10 years. My rule of thumb has always been in California, your home almost doubles every 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people, even like in the stock market, they're talking about, you know, timing of the market. No. It's time in the market. You know, same works with real estate. It's longevity. You know, and that these homes are built 30 years. I know it almost seems endlessly like fix a home, do this, that, you know, but that's where you have to keep your home. So it's not just in 30 years, it lasts 30 years. It can last longer than that. And that's what I like the beauty of, you know, real estate. You can go and buy a building, for instance, where we're at, and 100 years later, if you take care of it, it's still here and it's still generating income for you.
Yeah.
You know, where other things won't. Like a vehicle, it won't run. It's not going to make you money later. You know, where in real estate, and that's why I'm a huge fan of it, because we can see it here. My mother-in-law's house was built 1960 something. We're doing 2 ADUs on that thing.
Yeah.
Perfect example. You know, it's going to continue to make a profit for us.
100%.
I'm going to tell you guys something I learned since last week's show. I went camping out east of us, and I told you don't know this. I told him I'm like looking for land out there. I want to get like a lot and something out there because there's like acres for sale. So I went to this place and I spent 48 hours there in this very peaceful, serene, you can't hear traffic, road noise, nothing place. Okay. I found out that this guy owns 123 acres east of us, like 7 miles east of us. Guess how much he bought it for?
$50,000.
Oh,
Back
sorry,
in
I didn't tell you. Sorry, I
1962.
missed a piece of information. 123 acres. He bought it in May of 2022.
Oh, May of 2022.
Okay, so May of
Jeez.
2022. So just about 2.5
Jeez.
years ago. How much do you think he paid?
$600,000.
No, 10 million?
$500,000.
How?
$500,000.
Is it flat or is it mountain?
Is it? Yeah,
It's mountain range with flat. It's both. So this had a house on it, and it went up for sale from the family. It was a probate sale, but it was had an existing structure, 2 other structures that had previously burned down during the wildfires, like 2007.
Yeah.
And like the stone houses were still there. Now, no one's living in the stone house because the other parts had burned down. But my point is, it already had existing structures that can be rebuilt, and it has 123 acres. And part of what this guy did is he built all these like camping little flats where people can come and tent camp or truck or SUV camp overnight or for the weekend or for the week. And he has all this open area in his own private spot that's done really nice for $500,000.
You trying to buy Pio Pico?
Nice.
No, it's past that.
That's crazy.
My point in bringing that up, though, is you're saying that people can buy something and hold on to it for a long time. Yeah. That's the play. The person who owned this before that, I want to say owned it for 40-something years prior to him. And he's like, I'm going to die here. He told me to my face, he's like, I'm not going anywhere. He's I've lived all throughout San Diego. He was a contractor. He's like, I found this place. I bought it.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm going to rebuild it, and I'm going to stay here forever.
What was that deal?
He's like, I'm in my late 40s. He goes, I'm going to die here. I'm like, okay.
Good for him.
So, long story to your point, though, is there's land out here that you can secure and hold and just hold forever, and you can build up and gain
again,
equity
it's
over
your
time.
appetite, right? It's like an appetite for whoever wants it. Like me, I'm okay without that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't want that. I want this. I want to hear people. I want to hear cars. I want to see all that stuff. I'm allergic to horses.
Hey,
so
you
I'm
said
sorry.
You said
Allergic
camping.
to horses.
You said camping was like,
No, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah,
thank you.
Get this guy an
But I
EpiPen.
think,
was there a
I
motorhome?
think that's great.
Dirt?
But I think that's great, right? Like what a way to leverage your property.
It's 'cause he's doing
that's
it.
what's important, you know,
He's
that you learn
doing
how to
it.
live. It's like I could tell people like, oh, my payment's going to be like $5,500. I tell them, convert that garage into and rent it for $2,000. They're like, no, but I need that storage. All right. Then storage is more important.
Pay post paga.
There you go.
I believe
Exactly.
$2,000 a month in store. I wouldn't pay
But
$2,000 for storage.
that also brings up just like the diversity of what you can do in real estate. Like he has a ranch, you could do rentals, you could have a business. There's so many different ways. It doesn't just need to be, hey, I buy a house, I put renters in there, and that's it. There's so many different ways for you to be able to diversify. Home equity, Airbnbs, you know. So it's, you know, there's definitely a route.
Especially if you're buying houses now that can be a 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms for $15,000, Home Depot or Walmart. Imagine them putting those in place right
and then
there.
rent those out to be a little like
And create a little community in there. Like there's endless ways of how to figure that out when you have land.
A final point that I forgot to mention. So I mentioned when he bought it and how much he bought it for. What do you think it's worth now?
Oh wow!
No. Once it's done like that, it's
1.2?
got to be like, no, way more than that. It's got to be way more. It's 123.
The land alone is like $750 plus improvements, which is all the structures and all that. So it's going to be way beyond that when he's all said and done.
It's gotta be.
But yeah, $500,000 pickup.
Especially when you do that and now you got a business and you have that business license, you can run these things, right? Now you're showing an investor what your cap rate is, and therefore that brings it more value. You know, whereas the previous owner didn't have any of that. So therefore it's
like your real estate plus
you're
your
not
business.
worth, right? Yeah. It's not worth much. But now you can show somebody, look, this is what I generate as far as income. So when they see the cap rate, right, and you're selling it for $3 million, your cap rate's still 10%, you're buying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you're doing that, increasing that force value into your property.